this video, we're going to discuss women in consulting. Women are underrepresented within the field of consulting as a whole. However, for the purposes of this video, we are going to focus on three main firms, also known as MBB. That's McKinsey, Bain, and Boston Consulting Group. Looking at women's representation at McKinsey, women comprise 44% of the firm's workforce. At Bain, they make up 45% of the workforce. And at BCG, they make up 44% of the workforce. Considering this information on its own, women appear to be on equal footing with men. They are around half the workforce at each firm. But then the question becomes, what about leadership? Women make up 39% of management at McKinsey. 1/3 of Bain's global leadership team are women, and just 23% of leaders at BCG are women. It's clear that women are underrepresented. So why is this the case? The best way to explain this phenomenon is with an analogy. Think of women's career paths in consulting like a ladder. The bottom of the ladder represents different positions that women can take on. To go from one position to the next, you must step on a rung of the ladder. The problem is the ladder has a broken rung. The pathway for women all the way up to C-suite just isn't there, and it starts at that first jump from entry level to management. Looking at a 2019 report, we see that women and men are represented in equal numbers. That's consistent with what we see in MBB now. But take a look at the management level. This is the first time we see a drop-off in women. Then we see women's representation continue to dwindle again and again, all the way up to C-suite, with women making up just 22% of the C-suite. Why is this happening? Part of it starts with tracking the hiring process. If we don't have the processes set up to hire women in the first place, we can't make progress. Next, burnout. The gap between women and men in terms of burnout nearly doubled in 2021. Women are experiencing more burnout, more stress, and more exhaustion. Next, lack of inspiration. Only 46% of U.S. women feel inspired by the prestige, wealth, and influence that senior level positions offer. This is troubling, as prestige, wealth, and influence of senior roles is the number one source of inspiration for U.S. women to take on these positions in the first place. Why should I care if there's women in consulting? The first reason is it increases profitability and productivity. Next, firms that offer greater gender balance experience a rise in talent attraction and retention. Finally, greater creativity, innovation, and openness. How do we get more women then? It clearly helps business, so how do we get more women to enter this field? First, we should integrate bias training into the hiring process to offer the pool of women to be selected as managers for later on, and then also holding managers accountable for representation progress. We want to see more women hired, so let's make sure that managers are actually doing it. Support employee well-being and diversity, equity, and inclusion. It is proven that companies that support their employees in this also experience happier employees that are less likely to leave the job. Even more, companies should communicate the benefits of and pathways to leadership. This creates reasons for wanting those leadership positions and gives people the means of doing so. Women need to see visible role models, someone that they can look up to in their field so they know that leadership is an option for them. Finally, encourage women to advocate for themselves. Women saying what they need helps managers give them what they need. Bottom line is, representation matters. We need more women in consulting.